Hey guys, it's Simmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 8th of August, 2022 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Friday Night Smackdown, including that huge surprise shock ending. I love that Karrion, Kross, and Scarlett is back. I do apologize for my voice. My voice has just been kind of going out over the last couple of days. Not really sure why, but I've had a really bad cough. My voice has been really raspy, so I do want to apologize for that. But Karrion Kross is back in WWE. Him and Scarlett showed up at the end of the show. That's the big news from the night. That's the big talking point. It's amazing. And Triple H. Did I say 8th? I apologize, Wayne. It is the 5th. I looked at my clock. This said 8-5. Saw the 8 and probably just said the 8. My dyslexia kicked in, and I just went with the first number I saw. Do apologize that. But with that, Karrion Kross is back. Triple H putting in the work. And now the big question is, who you bringing back next? Who you bringing back next? First, Dakota Kai. Now, Karrion and Scarlett. Bray Wyatt. Braun Strowman. How about the entire Wyatt family? How about we do that? I always bring back the Wyatt family and make the whole act a tribute to Brody. But with that, I do want to say thank you if you are watching live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, or if you're watching later on youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, or listening on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you could subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and it always gives you one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But remember, if you are watching on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well by hitting that donate button or the join button down below to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Also, remember, you can get all of that, but in a more concise area and more directly support us by heading over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Also, remember to head over to the Epic Game Store and use the code PW Unlimited. Use the creator code PW Unlimited, whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming the free games or getting bucks for Fortnite, Rocket League, or Fall Guys. Remember, I think till the end of this week, John Cena is still in Fortnite. So whether that is on the Epic Game Store buying the V-Bucks, or you're in the launcher on your PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, or mobile device, use the code PW Unlimited at checkout. You'll get not only John Cena, but you'll have to pay for him, of course, but you'll also be supporting us without having to pay anything extra to support us. And I do want to say thank you to everybody who has been using that creator code this past week, whether that's on Fortnite, whether that's for Fall Guys getting show bucks, or if that's in the other one. My mind just went blank. Rocket League. But with that, we've got Friday Night Smackdown to talk about. I don't know why I clicked that twice. Where the show itself kicked off with a 5-minute SummerSlam recap video. We then see Roman Reigns and the Usos arrive at the building, and my first thought was, okay, these guys can show up whenever they want. Screw a call time. Usually we hear the call times like 1 p.m., sometimes sooner, earlier, and it's like, damn, screw the call time. Bloodline shows up whenever they want. And then one of the best things they've done in a long time, they gave Pat McAfee a frickin' telestrator to telestrate his actions at SummerSlam. Pat McAfee narrates his entire end of his match as far as him doing the kick to the balls of Happy Corbin and whatnot. Happy Corbin knocking over the referee, and he's telestrating the whole thing. It was great. They should have kept the telestrator. Like Pat McAfee with the telestrator, is funny as it's funny as hell, and B, it's something different that no one's ever done in wrestling. You can literally have matches end and then be like, well, let me show you how this match really ended, Michael Cole, as Kofi Kingston was at the top rope, or no, for the first match, as Ricochet was at the top rope, we saw Ricochet, he ascended high right here, and you can see like Pat squiggle down, and he hit the 630 on bum-ass Corbin. That would have been funny. It would have been funny if him telestrating like McAfee, or not McAfee, he's McAfee, Ricochet beating Corbin at the end, so that would have been really funny. That would have been really, really funny if they let him use the telestrator more. I say bring the telestrator to SmackDown more often. But speaking of the opening match of the night, in the back, Corbin was watching all of this going on. A bunch of wrestlers were laughing at him when Ricochet stood up to him and was like, hey, it's all in good fun, but if you're upset, I'll face you in the ring right now. Let's go. Like, I'll be out there and I'll be waiting for you. So we got an 11 and a half, almost 12-minute match. Ricochet and Happy Corbin. Cold Cut KC with the Tier 1 subscription for 19 months. Casey, are you going to the lake with us Sunday morning? If you are, you're going to have to stay the night because we're leaving early. I don't know if Jeff's talked to you about it yet. We're going early, like leaving at 4:30. Anywho, the one thing I've noticed, like the big thing I have noticed with SmackDown and Raw so far, like Raw and SmackDown this week, where Triple H is changing things, where the shows don't feel super different. But what I have noticed that has been different is match quality, because matches are going longer and wrestlers are able to do more, hence making for better matches. That is one thing I have noticed so far under Triple H. Matches have gone a little longer for the most part, and the quality is a lot better because of it. We had Ricochet and Corbin here who had a really good match, and I'm saying that for a Corbin match, really good. Ricochet looked very strong. And this was probably, like I said, one of Corbin's better matches, especially as of late. Past year or so, even 2. So a lot of the match, the fans were chanting for McAfee, unfortunately, but it didn't take the 2 guys out of the match, which was good. Ricochet had the early advantage as he sent Corbin to the floor. He followed it up with a dive, wiping out Corbin. Corbin avoided a springboard clothesline and hit it around the ring post clothesline to take over. Corbin kept looking over at McAfee, and the fans broke into a loud McAfee chant. Ricochet fought back and rocked Corbin with a kick to the face. Corbin avoided a moonsault off the apron. He threw Ricochet into the ring post. Casey says, no helping a friend move. I might buy one of those. Jeff found. Yeah, he told me about that ski, the one he found in Madeira today, the Yamaha. Where were we? Back from a commercial break. Corbin was firmly in control with a chin lock. Ricochet broke free, but Corbin gave him a massive back body drop. Fans broke out into a loud "You suck" chant. Ricochet fired up and went for a handspring elbow, but Corbin caught him and hit a spinning neck breaker. Ricochet briefly fought back. Corbin recovered and hit a deep 6 for a close near fall. They fought on the top rope where Ricochet tried, slipping out, but Corbin pulled him back up. Corbin then threw Ricochet onto the apron. Corbin looked over back at McAfee. The distraction here was enough for Ricochet to take advantage and crotch Corbin on the top rope. Ricochet then hit the recoil and a shooting star press to pick up the victory. Interesting that he used the shooting star and not the 630. Fans popped huge for Ricochet winning. Again, love that Ricochet won here. And McAfee noted that Ricochet is going to do something he didn't do at SummerSlam. Do a move smoothly. I like that. After the match, McAfee and Ricochet played a little catch. I haven't been to Jeff's house since last week. Since Saturday. I haven't seen it, though. No. I I haven't been there since last week. After the match, they played catch. He threw the ball at Ricochet. Ricochet threw the ball back at Pat. Pat signed the football and kicked it into the crowd. I'm like, oh, that fan got a hell of a souvenir. A signed, punted into the crowd Pat McAfee football. Yeah, it was a foam Nerf ball, but still super, super cool. Also, did you get him that Samsung you said something about? Is that what it is? The 65-inch Samsung? So in the back, Sami Zayn knocked on the Bloodline's locker room door. Well, actually, they recapped Liv Morgan defeating Ronda Rousey, even though she shouldn't be the champion. And then Cole mentioned Rousey's suspension and this and that. And I'm going to say it right now. We're going to talk about it right now. So, the whole thing with Liv Morgan in the championship, Smackdown did her no favors, made her look like a weak champion. And as we're going to talk about here shortly, fans were in the right to chant what they chanted at her. To, I guess you could say, throw her off her game. I saw a lot of fans, a lot of people were DMing me. I had 2 people specifically DMing me. These fans are dumb. They shouldn't be chanting like that at Liv. Liv's the champion. And they're hypocrites. And I'm like, Liv did tap out. Liv shouldn't be the champion. They made Liv look weak. She was crying in the SummerSlam match. And Pat McAfee and Michael Cole said about 5 times at SummerSlam, you know, Ronda technically should have won this match. The ref blew the call. I'm like, yeah, because the ref went 1, 2, as he went halfway down, Liv starts tapping, and then. So yes, she is the champ because the ref didn't catch it in time, but that doesn't do Liv any favors for us believing that she's a strong champion. That's the thing. At least I, can't take her serious as the champion the way they booked that match at SummerSlam. She was legit crying in pain for 90% of the match. And then the dumb finish that did her no favors, and commentary going on, oh, you know, Ronda technically should have walked out the champion. Ronda should be the champion. So it's like, oh. Now we got, and we'll talk about here soon, Shayna's going to challenge her. So cool. But Sammy knocks on the door. And there we go. Back from a break, Zayn was still knocking on the door. The Usos finally came out and wouldn't let him talk to Roman. They revealed that Paul Heyman's not at the show tonight. He's recovering at home. The Usos promised to let Zayn talk later. Nakamura came out. Pat McAfee went wild. They showed a throwback of Stone Cold Steve Austin destroying the McMahon-Helmsley faction bus. And Pat then goes, it's crazy, Cole. That was 23 years ago. We had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ludwig Kaiser. A match went just shy of 9 minutes. And the stipulation of this match is, well, if Nakamura wins, he gets an Intercontinental title shot. I believe it's next week as well. I'll have to look back at that. So Kaiser backed Nakamura into the corner early with some kicks. The fans broke into a brief USA chant. And I go, well, which one are they chanting for? Because it's neither. Neither of them are from the USA. So we're getting USA chants, and there's nobody from USA in the match. Nakamura recovered and rocked Kaiser with a running knee. Kaiser picked up Nakamura in the backbreaker position, but dropped him on his face. After a commercial break, Nakamura was firmly in control with a sliding German suplex into the ropes. Gunther distracted Nakamura, allowing Kaiser to take over for a second. Just a second. Nakamura regained control and went for Kaiser. Or no, a Kinshasa on Kaiser, but Kaiser rocked him with an uppercut for a near fall. Kaiser was in total control here, but Nakamura caught him with an armbar. Kaiser broke free. Nakamura hit the Kinshasa and picked up the victory. So Nakamura wins and gets the title shot. Gunther then comes into the ring. Also, freaking Samantha Irving and the way she announces Gunther's name, she's like making his way into the ring accompanied by the Intercontinental Champion, Gunther. And I'm like, oh, damn. The way she was like, Gunther. And I was like, oh yeah. She getting paid tonight. She working tonight. Like, I love the way Samantha Irving does some of these intros. It's great. But Nakamura and Gunther go face to face. Nakamura's maybe an inch shorter than him. Honestly, and cool for Gunther getting into shape. Cool for Gunther losing the weight. But dropping the weight just makes him look like another guy. He doesn't look like this big, intimidating dude, especially when he's not much taller than a lot of the guys there on the main roster. Jimmy Too Sweet, thank you for the subscription with Amazon Prime. He said, "What's up, Tim? I'm a little late. Was watching Rampage. The main event was fun." Gotcha. I haven't watched Rampage yet myself. But we will be getting next week Gunther versus Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. They recapped the Viking Raiders beating the New Day last week and injuring Xavier Woods. Megan Morant then interviewed Kofi Kingston. He noted that Woods is doing good and recovering, and he promised to get revenge. Back from commercial break, Cole and McAfee talked about the news coverage that SummerSlam garnered. In the back, Sami Zayn knocked on the Bloodline's door again. He noted that, "I didn't get a text from you. Maybe I don't got service." They're like, "Oh, yeah, we were just trying to text you, but you can't speak to Roman." But without the wise man here, Heyman ain't here, so we need you to do something that he normally does. Go to the truck, make sure everything's ready for Roman's entrance. Make sure the music's going to play right. Make sure his video's going to play right. Make sure the pyro's good. And he's like, "Well, that's not really my job. I'm an honorary ooze, so I need to speak with Roman." And they're like, No. Roman will be grateful that you do this for him tonight. Heyman's not here. We need someone else that can go do it. Sami walked off, and the Usos kind of stared him down as he did. As we move forward. Also, I thought this whole thing was going to lead to like Roman making a statement and beating the shit out of Sami or something. But it led to really nothing, to be honest, other than like him getting, well, I guess they yelled at him. And then basically said, "Pull your weight or take the shirt off," I think is what it was. I have it in my notes later. So, Liv Morgan came out, and oh boy, this was not good. Kayla Braxton interviewed Liv Morgan, the SmackDown Women's Champion. Braxton recapped the controversial finish and Ronda Rousey's suspension. Morgan had her arm in some sort of like a brace after the attack from Ronda Rousey. The fans booed Liv Morgan and chanted, "You tapped out." She claimed that she only tapped when she thought the referee counted to 3. Fans booed even louder, and Michael Cole literally goes, "She's kind of wrong there. She tapped before the referee counted 3, which means Ronda Rousey should have won." Like, they're really doing her no favor. Shut up. Out then came Sonya Deville to interrupt. She said Morgan shouldn't be the champion. Some fans cheered that. Deville then mocked Adam Pearce and promised to win the gauntlet match, which starts next. Again, Liv got frazzled in this promo by the crowd. They were booing her. They were chanting, "You tapped out." And then she's like, "Well, I tapped after the ref counted 3, I thought." That just makes the champion look so much dumber. To say that now, after you've had almost a week to see the replays, zip it. Don't even say it. Even if you thought, don't say it. Because it just makes her look, don't tell her to say that. It makes her look dumb. It makes her look worse. And then commentary correcting her, like they're just trying to make Liv look bad as the champion. It's weird. So we had the gauntlet match. Winner gets a shot at Liv Morgan for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Clash at the Castle. Esports gaming. I have no clue what you mean by, I hope Stephanie shows up in that event in Nagoya. Stephanie McMahon shows up at Stardom? What are you talking about? I don't follow Stardom that much, if much of at all. So I have no clue what you're talking about, bud. And if you're trying to say that, first off, you want Triple H and Stephanie McMahon to make a working agreement with Stardom, that ain't going to happen because they have a working agreement with New Japan, who has a working agreement with All Elite Wrestling. Actually, they don't just have a working agreement with New Japan. They now have a championship in New Japan, and they're owned by the same company that owns New Japan. But yeah, You could say that WWE's kind of trying to bury Liv in their own way, which is weird. But the first match of the Gauntlet match went 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It was Sonya Deville and Aaliyah. This was a typical WWE match. They had a bunch of short stuff here. First off, Deville had the advantage early. Fans were chanting for Ronda Rousey, though. Deville took over and slowed the pace down with a chin lock. Aaliyah broke free with the... Whoa. Why the hell did my notes just scroll themselves down when I didn't click anything? That's weird. Let's go back up. Aaliyah broke free with a crossbody for a second. And got a near fall off of it. Deville recovered and just pins Aaliyah for the victory. Next up, Raquel Rodriguez in another 2-minute match. Deville gave Rodriguez a chop block for the early advantage. Rodriguez recovered and hit a Vader bomb into an elbow drop. She followed it up with the power bomb and picked up the victory. Then we got a less than a 1.5 minute match. The match started during the commercial break. Shotzi was firmly in control, and Rodriguez reversed into a follow-away slam. Followed this up with a Vader bomb elbow and picked up the victory. Next up was Raquel and Xia Li. Lee targeted Raquel's injured knee with a half crab. Rodriguez caught Lee in midair and hit a follow-away slam. She followed this up with a Vader bomb elbow and then a power bomb to pick up the victory. Raquel then moves on to Natty. Natalya attacked Rodriguez's knee and locked on a submission. Rodriguez escaped and reversed it into a suplex for a near fall. Natalya recovered and locked on a sharpshooter. Rodriguez then fought back and hit the ropes. Rodriguez recovered and hit a powerbomb on Natty to pick up the win. Shayna Baszler then came out and ended up winning the whole dang thing. The match started during the break, so I think it went a little over 3 minutes. Baszler was firmly in control and continued the attack on the injured leg. Baszler attacked Rodriguez's arm as Morgan watched on. Baszler then tried to go for the Karafuda clutch, but Rodriguez avoided it. Rodriguez recovered and went for the Vader bomb elbow, but Baszler locked on the Karafuda clutch out of it. Rodriguez did break free. Baszler took advantage and rolled up a weakened Rodriguez to pick up the victory. But with that, the second match has been officially announced for Clash at the Castle, as Shayna Baszler will be challenging Liv Morgan for the SmackDown Women's Championship. After the match, Baszler and Morgan did have a slight little stare down. So in the match, Sami Zayn knocked on the Bloodline's door again. Said he did everything the Usos asked, but they still wouldn't let him speak to Roman. Zayn became frustrated and the Usos yelled at him. They told him to start pulling your weight or take off that Bloodline shirt. So then next up, we have the Viking Raiders against Tommy Gibson and Jim Malarkey or something like that. I think Michael Cole called them Jim Malarkey. I could be wrong there, but that's what it sounded like. Total squash match, lasted a minute and a half. Viking Raiders beat their asses. Afterwards, the Viking Raiders were celebrating when Kofi Kingston would run down and attack them both with a kendo stick. He cleared the ring, and the fans started chanting for Kofi. We come back from a break, and there's a match in progress. It's Kofi and Eric. The match goes, I want to say just short of 4 minutes, maybe-ish. I don't know when during the match or the break it actually started. So it went around 4 minutes long. Eric rocked Kingston early on here with a knee to the face. He slowed the pace down with a chin lock. Kingston fought back and then a flying crossbody for a 2. He went for the SOX, but Eric slammed him down for a near fall. He then followed this up with a full Nelson into a knee. Kingston recovered and sent Eric to ringside. He followed it up with a trust fall dive. Ivar then tried to attack Kofi with a kendo stick, but he missed. And then Eric hit Kofi and threw him back into the ring. All of a sudden, as they're in the ring, Eric slides back in. Kofi rolls him up and picks up the pinfall victory. So Kofi Kingston actually defeats Eric. I'm gonna be honest, kind of over New Day and the Viking Raiders, if I'm just being honest. Then we see the Bloodline making their way out to the ring. Back from the break, they showed a Gunther vs. Nakamura video package. And yeah, they did say here next week. The Roman Reigns and the Usos come out and they get a great reaction from the fans here in Greenville, South Carolina, I think it is. So they come in the ring and Roman Reigns says, Greenville, South Carolina, acknowledge me. They acknowledged him. I thought Roman was really good on the mic tonight. Like, he cut a really good promo. Reigns talked about SummerSlam and noted that they're on SmackDown because they all won at SummerSlam and now they're here to brag like they always do. Fans loved that line. I love that line when he goes, hey, this is what we do. We go out there, we win the big one, then we come back to SmackDown and we brag about it. Fans cheered huge for that. He then mentions Brock Lesnar and the fans boo. He goes, hey, I hate Brock Lesnar too. He tried to kill the wise man. But I will say, first off, to send some prayers out to Heyman, wise man, but I respect Brock Lesnar. I still hate Brock Lesnar, but I respect Brock Lesnar. They then get interrupted by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre noted that he can't wait till Clash at the Castle, and then if he has to, he'll jump in the ring and fight all of them right now. Suddenly, we hear music. Everything goes black and white. We see a crow flying on the screen, a woman standing in the entrance, and all of a sudden, Drew gets attacked by the returning Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross beats down Drew McIntyre in the aisle, throws him into the steel steps, and leaves him for dead in front of the ring. As this is all going on, Scarlett is slowly making her way down to the ring. She puts the hourglass on the edge of the ring, flips it over while looking at Roman. Pat McAfee then asked, what does this mean, Cole? And he goes, well, they're putting Roman Reigns on notice. That means tick-tock. Time is coming. The two then step back. They look straight at Roman Reigns. Kross goes like this, like tick-tock, tick-tock. And there we go. Also, thank you, Hot Rod Bubba. I did miss it. I didn't write it down in my notes. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Karrion Kross is back with WWE. They kept it a good secret. They didn't keep it a secret as far as, hey, we're interested. Because that Fightful report that came out this morning, or this afternoon, actually, was WWE is interested. No, I'll actually read it really fast. Because even Fightful didn't know that Kross was going to be signed. Like, they knew that there was interest because they stated, Fightful has learned that former NXT champion Karrion Kross has been discussed as a name of interest for WWE to bring back to the company. Several within the industry outright expect him to return, and one source indicated that they believe it was already in the company's plans, though we've yet to confirm that whatsoever. They also stated that they had heard nothing on if Scarlett was being considered to return as well. What? Well, both of them were considered and brought back and signed, because WWE they are not putting them on TV, especially the way they did tonight if they didn't sign. So that's it. They're signed. And I don't think coming out of Ric Flair's last match, I don't think Kross was advertised for anything, like announcing, I got dates here, here, and here, and here. I'm going to go look at something really fast. Because Kross worked. Well, it was interesting because Kross did work. What's his name? Davey Boy Smith Jr. at Ric Flair's last match, and then talked about how they were 1-1 and that they should do a rubber match. But then, well, they're not doing a rubber match now. But as far as him, so here we go. He is, or was at least, okay. But he was, announced for a bunch of stuff coming out of Ric Flair's last match. So I'm wrong. I hadn't seen any of this. He was announced for Destiny Wrestling on the 21st. He was announced for, looks like a convention on October 15th. Another another convention on October 1st, and WrestleCade November 25th through the 27th. So I don't know if WWE, they've done it in the past, but I don't know that far out if WWE is going to allow them to keep those bookings and honor them, or if they're just going to tell them, nope, you're with us, you can't do them. Because in the past, we have seen WWE go, you can honor your bookings. We've seen them do it with Joe. We've seen them do it with Rhino. But that's with guys in NXT. Main roster, a little bit different. So, I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything regarding these bookings. Because let's see. Yeah. Because, again, there's like 3 or 4 different bookings here that, let's see, what's this one? Yeah, even on August 20th. He was supposed to work for Defy Wrestling. He was going to take on Yuya Uemura. So now the big question is he going to be able to fulfill these dates? Is WWE going to allow it? But also, and then Bloody Vlad's got a question here that I'm going to talk about. I did forget to mention that on Monday Night Raw next week, WWE will be kicking off the WWE Women's Tag Team Title Tournament. And Bloody Vlad says, why would they start a tag team tournament if Sasha and Naomi is coming back? Well, there's a couple things here. A, Sasha and Naomi vacated the titles. So even if they come back, they can do a storyline where, yes, we gave up the belts. You know we gave up the belts. Now we have to earn them back. Or they do the tournament. They crown new champions. Sasha and Naomi then come back and go, hey, we never lost those titles. We're the rightful champions. Let's fight to see who the real champions are. And then we do like a, not unification match, but you know what I mean. So they could be one of 2 different ways. They just have to either earn them back, or after the tournament is over, they bring Sasha and Naomi back. They do the whole we're still the real champions thing. And then whoever the champions are, they face Sasha and Naomi in a title match. So those are 2 ways I believe they can do it. Or the whole, you got to prove yourselves again because you gave up the belts. Put Sasha and Naomi in the tournament. Put Sasha and Naomi in the tournament. There you go. But with that, guys, that's everything that went down tonight on Friday night SmackDown. I thought it was a good show, and then it turned into a phenomenal show at the end with Kross and Scarlett coming back. So, I mean, I'm all for tonight's SmackDown. I'm all for it. But with that, now you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's SmackDown. Remember, you can let me know by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. But before we do that, we got to check polls, which I forgot to do a Twitter poll, unfortunately. We'll throw it up really fast, and we'll check it at the very, very end. Let's do poll, new poll. What did you think of tonight's SmackDown? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. All right. We'll check the other polls. We'll check the poll here on Twitch at the very end of the show. But as far as the YouTube community poll does go, refresh that. 88% liked the show, 9% thought it was just all right, and 3% did not like SmackDown. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 81.6% liked it, 15.8% thought it was just all right, and 2.6% did not like SmackDown. And as far as the text messages do go, I have those right here. Let's pull up the right one because it never wants to pull up the right one. First text message here states, do you see Theory cashing in Money in the Bank at Clash of the Castle? No. Do you think, what do you think about this prediction? Drew McIntyre beats Roman Reigns in a steel cage match by slightly hitting the floor before Roman. Why would you do a cage in the first place? Cage means you're like second or third match in. Cage would mean that you do the match Clash at the Castle, the Usos interfere, they screw Drew, they help Roman, then you need a cage match. So I don't even know if we're going that far. Person here says, you think Johnny Gargano could return this Monday on Raw in his hometown of Cleveland? Maybe, but I wouldn't put money on it. I mean, there's a very, 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 very good chance. Actually, there's a damn good chance but I think it's too obvious. And I don't think Triple H is doing obvious right now. Person here says, I was so excited. Karrion, Kross, and Scarlett are back. Weren't they with Defy Wrestling? Also, you think they do Shinsuke and Gunther Clash at the Castle? So they do Shinsuke and Gunther next week. And no one's assigned to Defy Wrestling. No one's with Defy Wrestling. But as we talked earlier, yes, he did have a booking later this month with Defy to take on Yuya Uemura. And this person says, do you think the Boston Glow Connection return on Monday? It's possible. Very possible. Maybe they just throw them into the tournament. They say they're back, and they'll be in the tournament. So we'll see how that all does go. And as far as the poll here on Twitch, 94% like Smackdown, and 6% thought it was just all right. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Or if you're watching or listening later, whether that's YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, Twitter, or podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, and so much more. With that, guys, have a great night. I'm going to try to go live later, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. No full guarantees, but I'm going to try to. With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be gone all weekend, very busy. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.